Everyone thinks they understand who the real villain of Bleach is, Aizen. But what if I told you there's someone just as dangerous, and he's been helping the main character the entire time? Because Kisuke Urahara is not what he seems. He's not just a goofy shop owner. He's not just a mentor. He's one of the smartest minds in Soul Society history. And that's exactly what makes him dangerous. Urahara, former captain of Squad 12 and research and development, creator of advanced technologies and a master strategist. Urahara doesn't fight head on. No, he prepares, and by the time you realize what he's doing, you're already part of his plan. Basically, if Aizen is playing chess, Urahara already finished the game yesterday. He created the Hogyoku. The same object that allowed Aizen to transcend was created by Urahara. Let that sink in. Come here. The man who stopped Aizen is the reason Aizen became what he was. Urahara doesn't just invent tools. He creates possibilities. And once something becomes possible, someone will use it. Even if that someone is a monster. Urahara doesn't just help Ichigo, he pushes him, forces him into a life or death situation just to unlock his potential. That's not guidance, that's calculated pressure. Which is crazy because Urahara really said, you'll grow or you'll die trying. Urahara really tells the full truth. He gives just enough information to move people where he wants them. Which means even his allies are part of his strategy. So what makes Urahara dangerous? It's power. It's control. Not control over reality like Aizen, no. But control over outcomes, over people, over events, over the future itself. Because if Aizen represents manipulation, then Urahara represents preparation. And the truth is, preparation, like Batman, can be just as terrifying. Because the most dangerous person isn't always the one you fear. It's the one who already planned everything. Come here. But here's where it gets even darker. Because Soul Society didn't just create people like Aizen. They created Urahara too. And once you understand that, you start to realize the system itself might be the real problem. And once you realize what Urahara has been doing this entire time, you start to see Bleach in a completely different way. Because this goes way deeper than Aizen. At first glance, Kisuke Urahara's Zanpakuto doesn't seem overwhelming. His Shikai is elegant, precise, almost controlled. It fires energy, creates shields, adapts in combat. But the key word is adapt. Because Urahara doesn't rely on raw strength. He adjusts, analyzes, and counters. Basically, fighting Urahara is like playing a video game. Like playing Melania from Elden Ring. Like fighting her. That's what it feels like. When he already knows your next move, you're cooked. But this is where it gets crazy. But his Bankai is where things become unsettling.
Kanan Biraki Benehime Aratame.
doesn't just enhances his power, it reconstructs reality. It can reconstruct anything it touches. Bodies, objects, even damage itself. Which means Urahara doesn't just fight you, he rewrites you. That's not a weapon, that's a surgical tool in the hands of someone who has no limits on how far he's willing to go. And this is where things start to overlap with Sosuke Aizen, because Urahara doesn't just study science, he pushed it beyond its boundaries and limits. The Hogyoku, one of the most dangerous objects in existence, was created by him. An object capable of breaking the boundaries between hollows and soul reapers, and granting power based on desire. Aizen didn't create the possibility, Urahara did. Which raises a question most people don't ask. What does Urahara actually want? Because unlike Aizen, he doesn't openly chase power. He doesn't declare his ambitions. He hides them behind jokes, behind smiles, behind the image of someone harmless. But people like Urahara doesn't operate without a purpose. No, they operate with precision. Aizen's manipulation from the front, Urahara's manipulates from the shadows. Aizen focus outcomes, Urahara prepares them. Aizen controls perception, Urahara controls possibility. And when you really think about that, just take a few minutes to think about that. The ability to control what can happen is far more dangerous than controlling what people can see.